3 ways to stay motivated in your martial arts and fight training. Motivation is your ability to begin and continue action. It's what makes you wake up and want to train day in and day out. But how do you maintain your motivation when training becomes mundane? Keep watching to get some simple ideas how to motivate your martial arts training. The reality of learning. Before we discuss the simple steps to improve your motivation for martial arts training, let's first briefly examine the reality of learning any skill. What day-to-day training really looks like. Some call it the grind. The grind appears when the new and exciting aspects of training wear off. Taking in new fighting techniques can be fun and exciting, but the reality is that it takes a lot of repetition to make these fighting techniques your own. You have to assimilate this information into your current set of fighting skills. So in reality, after you've been shown a new fighting technique, what you're left with is hard, repetitive work. This is when most people are likely to quit. To get you through the toughest periods of training, you have to be intrinsically motivated. Your motivation gets you through the grind, but there's a difference between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is when you do the task to get something in return, say a reward. Intrinsic is where you do the task for the sake of doing it. This is important to note. So, what are the 3 key factors to improve your motivation? Well, the first is goal setting. Setting goals is a great strategy for your motivation. Essentially, you're giving yourself objectives to keep you focused and providing a reason to enjoy the grind. These should be both long and short-term goals. Short-term goals can be simple steps such as improving your jab by the end of the month. Long-term could be having as many variations in your jab by the end of the year. It's not necessary to have long-term goals such as being the best fighter. This isn't helpful. It doesn't provide you with a roadmap to be great, and it certainly won't motivate you through the grind. Besides, your training will become extrinsically motivated. My second tip is visualization. When you hesitate to put your time and effort into training, remind yourself why you're training in the first place. Visualize what success looks like. Remind yourself how much hard work it will take to make your vision a reality. You can even imagine a sense of pride you will feel. Explore these feelings when embracing the grind. However, there is another more powerful tool used by many of the Special Forces operators around the world. This is a mental trigger. It's a simple cue to remind you when you're fighting what you're fighting for. When times are hard, what's the reason why you're fighting? It doesn't matter what the reason is, as long as you can activate it during intense periods of training. Association. Associate the toughest parts of training with the positive outcomes. The more you endure, the more benefit you will see in your perseverance. Lastly, associate with other fighters that are highly motivated to train. Find training partners who are intrinsically motivated. There are immense benefits from finding individuals that are like-minded in their training. There is evidence to suggest that fighters who work through the grind are more likely to enjoy the process being the key word. Meaning, they may not enjoy the grind itself, but they derive pleasure from working towards a goal. The grind is repetitive work, sometimes hard and exhausting, sometimes simply slow and monotonous. Some fighters can embrace the grind, others fall foul of it. The reality of learning is that you can't hate or avoid the grind. You should embrace it, and to do so, you must be intrinsically motivated. Having said all of these things, don't give up. Training's hard and you've got to be in it for the long haul. Thanks for watching.